Youngsters coming up and asking for her autograph. We're just privileged to even be sitting here at the edge of this truck with her. Well, Shirley, today it's you versus Don. Any comments?
I haven't raced Don but one time in 3 years, so the crowd is very excited. The fact that we're back together again and racing, that is. And we're optimistic. The track looks like it's been prepared rather well, and the conditions are really good. The crowd is really pumped, so we're optimistic. I think we'll win the drag race, yes.
It's 2 out of 3. You're going to take it in 2?
I'd like to.
Okay. Now I've been reading, and an article came out today in the paper, and it was just all on Don Garlitz and saying that you win like a lot of other drag racers, and you got one of the biggest egos as a drag racer. Is that what it takes to win in drag racing? You must have an ego. What do you think about that comment?
No, in fact, there isn't any room for egos in my camp. We work together as a team, and that's how we go to the winner's circle. So to say my ego is big, well, Don has always had a good sense of humor, hasn't he?
He likes to call it professional pride. Would you say Don has an ego, or is he a team person like yourself?
I think everyone that is involved in this sport has somewhat of an ego. It's a very demanding sport, and the lows are incredibly low.
Yeah.
It'll drag you right to the bottom. The highs are few and far between, but they're wonderful. So we all hope to go to the winner's circle. It's very costly what we do, and there are a lot of, you're dealing with a lot of different personalities. Some are hard to get along with, some are kind of laid back.
He wants to start. Not going to be the girls. Wow. Oh, boom. Oh, an ant drop. Big time crash top into the racetrack. Thing exploded. Car went sideways. Banked off the both walls, and it's still posted down there. The 78 come on the scoreboard right now. The only concern. Driver of the Matco car. Remember, that's very few.
Returns to Raceway Park in New Jersey. Racing, by the way, one of the few sports where men and women compete against each other.
It's called the National Hot Rod Association, and the women aren't only competing against the men, they're dominating. CBS 2's Steve Overmeyer went to Englishtown, New Jersey.
These cars go fast. Some hit 330 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds.
This switch panel up here, this is how I fire the race car.
And it belongs to Erica Enders. Erica Enders is a two-time world champion pro stock drag racer.
Eyes high, shift light comes on for second, third, fourth, fifth.
The car doesn't care if you're male or female. It comes down to reaction time, and Erica is one of the best.
Getting on a roller coaster, and you're click, 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 click.
And away first.
When I'm on the starting line and I dump the clutch, that's that free fall, over the edge. You're not.
There is one difference. Don't raise your hands in the middle of
Do
this
not
ride.
raise your hands and don't scream either.
Drag racing has been a leader in diversity for years. Shirley Muldowney won her first championship back in 1977, and the current points leader in the top fuel class is Leah Pritchett.
The women that are doing so well out here is because we're fearless.
Does it feel more impactful that you're doing this in this testosterone-seething sport?
I would say it does. I would say it takes a lot of guts for men to be okay with a female beating them. And there's some men take it okay.
everything's expensive. It costs $15,000 every trip down the track. And to get behind the wheel of this 11,000 horsepower demon, it takes a special psyche.
But it touches your soul. The nitromethane, the power, the feel, the 11,000 horsepower, and I've never seen or felt anything like it in the world.
Every car that you drive has a different personality. There's no one behind us. Let's get it. This person probably. Whoa, dude, what dinners?
Probably not. I hear one actually. I don't know where.
Maybe he's coming.
This is American car.
Oh my god! Wow. It's very, oh my god.
I mean, am I scared to get in a beast that could potentially kill me? Actually, no. I'm that crazy person. I'm scared of going out there and not doing my very best because I want to go out there and kill it. I'm fourth generation NHRA fan that has the opportunity to make it pro. So this is my, one shot to really impress, my great-grandpa in heaven, my grandpa back at home, and my dad here, and, really prove to them and to everyone out here watching that it's worth it. I'm out here for a reason, and I'm meant to be out here. I'm telling you, the second that motor starts up, all I want to do is hit that throttle and stay in it and go all the way down and hopefully get that one light.
Their confidence at all. His three daughters, Ashley, Brittany, and Courtney, 8, 5, and 3.
I never felt like there was anyone really against us. I mean, obviously you have people that say negative things or people that are doubting you, but I felt like in NHRA drag racing, we have more support than anything at all.
But on the other side of that, when we came into the sport, it wasn't just like, who's this girl? It was like,
yeah, we grew up out
John's daughters, and we've been around the sport for such a long time that I think none of them were really surprised that we all got into it. We grew up watching a lot of them, so it's kind of cool to look back at the history and go, I was probably at that race, I was probably at that race. I remember when she raced. I mean, as a kid, we only knew to cheer dad on, but when there was a female up there, you couldn't help but want them to win.
And it's neat when you look at the list, they didn't just, win here or there. Like, a lot of these gals, they were on a roll during the years that they were competing. Anyone who looks at that list can go, there's a lot of talented girls in this sport.
And guess what? Look out, record book.
It was interesting, like, people, like media that was familiar with drag racing that we got interviewed, like, you get to know some of the media guys and girls. It was funny, like, the questions they would ask, and then we'd get interviewed by someone, like, way outside of any kind of motorsports that didn't usually follow it. The questions they would ask, like, now, do you ever compete against men? And it was, like, interesting to see, like, you really wanted to open their eyes to, oh, of course we do compete against men.
Just your age range?
But in so many other sports, like basketball and things like that, it's the women, and then it's the men.
Here we go.
They didn't quite understand, and they were really surprised and impressed that, oh no, we all run against each other.
It's going to be Ashley Force for the second time.
That's probably what I'm most proud about when I tell people that I'm involved in NHRA drag racing, is that it's like the other motorsports are so far behind where we are when it comes to that. And not just the gender thing, but if you look at the group of drivers that we have, the different ethnicities that we have, the different ages that we have, the different backgrounds. There's all different kinds of people in the sport that can have success with all these different paths that they take. And it's just fun, I think, to be able to let fans know that, like, you're still going to probably find someone to root for because there's just such a diversity of people in the sport.
It's a huge milestone. I mean, it's something that's huge for, all women in the sport.
Is one of a very few African-American women who are professional drag car racers. She's in a male-dominated field, breaking down barriers each time she goes out on the track and wins the race.
Nicole says she learned from the best, her father. He taught her how to build engines and all about muscle cars. Jaquetta Williams talked with her about her career and the road to get there.
She taught me too. There was a lot of stuff she was saying I had no idea what she was talking about. It was like, woo! Nicole stands at about 5'6" and maybe 100 pounds. She's a published poet, a model, a black belt kickboxer. She's bad. And she loves fast cars, but it hasn't been easy. Her father is black, her mother Jewish. She's proud of who she is. Win or lose, she has no problem being the standout on the track.
I'm just an adrenaline junkie. I love my job. Stress relief to get out there and go over 200 miles an hour and win.
Meet 28-year-old drag racer Nicole Lyons.
In some of my categories, I'm the only woman, and not being the average job for a woman. And then being an African-American woman, which is, extremely rare in our industry.
Nicole got addicted to speed alongside her dad, Jack Davis.
I grew up handing him wrenches, at a young age. And I knew pretty much from age 2 that I wanted to be a race car driver. Know how to build engines, chassis. I know exactly why this car is doing what it's doing.
Nicole's father taught her nearly everything she knows. It's a dream they both shared until he died.
My dad passed away in 2005, a week before my season opener with the NHRA, and I feel like when I'm in that car, it's like that connection we have. My dad was extremely rare. I mean, he was racing in the early 60s, when it was definitely, rare for black men to be out there racing. You're always going to run into somebody that's just as foul, and a jerk. Why don't you go model or stand next to the cars? Maybe do that, No. We need diversity in the sport. It's easier for inner city kids to tell their parents, hey, Mom, let me go buy a basketball. That's $13. Hey, Mom, you got $500,000 so I can get my racing career started?
And then there are the dangers.
Now, yes, people have died out there. I did have an accident, which was pretty much an eye-opener for me. I caved my whole leg in on the side. So, being that I didn't have my seatbelts on properly, I went right up into the roll cage like a rag doll. Actually, I got out of the car and said, do we have another one that we can bring out on the track?
Finally, I had to know how Nicole's competitors react when they lose to her.
You have some that'll come over to congratulate. You'll have some that'll pack up and leave and never say anything to you. Some that'll blame it on some stupid thing like, well, my tire pressure wasn't set, all the way right on that run. And I'm like, you've got a $3 million operation going on over there. It's like in anything, you'll have certain people that'll say, yeah, way to go. You did a great pass on that run. You beat us fair and square. And then you'll have some that just don't like it.
That's all right. They still got beat by a girl.